There are nights at sea that change everything. As the world above rages with fury, beneath the surface of the sea, a tug loses its long, fierce battle and slips quietly into the depths. Two days earlier, the 38-year-old Indian-flagged tug was operating offshore, engaged in anchor handling and support operations. As Cyclone Tauktae approached, the tug was operating without a chief engineer, and its safety management certificate had expired. Yet commercial operations continued. By the evening of 16th May 2021, wind speeds increased rapidly and sea and swell conditions worsened significantly. After completing a prolonged towing and anchor handling operation, the tug anchored in the vicinity of the accommodation work barge off Alibag at around 22:30 hours.
As the weather deteriorated, the tug began to drag her anchor. At 00:30 hours, the master attempted to heave up the anchor using both main engines. But failed. The tug drifted about 11 nautical miles in a west-northwesterly direction, dragging her anchor along the seabed. At around 0500 hours, the situation took a critical turn. The second engineer noticed seawater entering the engine room from the steering gear compartment. The crew responded immediately and started the engine room bilge pump, followed by the fire and GS pump. But early efforts were delayed due to a stuck valve and clogged bell mouth. By the time pumping became effective, water ingress had exceeded the vessel's pumping capacity. As the storm intensified, flooding worsened. Another pump was rigged and additional crew were deployed to assist. The steering gear room door was closed to slow the ingress. However, the door itself was not watertight, and water continued to leak through. Additionally, water entered from other areas, including booby hatches, gooseneck vents, and other openings. A plastic sheet was put around the booby hatch and secured with rope. But sea conditions rendered this ineffective. At around 1600 hours, the rudder indication on the bridge failed, indicating extensive flooding in the steering compartment. Although emergency steering was theoretically available, access to it was impossible due to flooding. By approximately 1700 hours, the situation was no longer survivable. The master ordered all crew out of the engine room. With the tug listing heavily and seas breaking across the deck, the order to abandon ship was given at 1800 hours. But in the circumstances, the tug had a heavy list to port, making it impossible to launch the life rafts normally. The crew were ordered to jump into the water. The second engineer and an able-bodied seafarer
managed to board one of the life rafts that had inflated.
Of the 13 crew members on board, only 2 survived the cyclone. They were rescued at approximately 2200 hours on the 17th of May 2021 by the Indian naval ship INS Kolkata.
The investigation into the